Hey guys, Jonah Soda here, back again doing another movie review, and today we'll be reviewing Adventureland. Now, we are also reviewing my series of summer movies. I already reviewed it, now we are reviewing Adventureland, and it's going to be, like I said in my Moonrise Kingdom review, it's going to be a pretty mini-series review, mini-series, so yeah. Adventureland is directed by Greg Mottola and features Jess Eisenberg, Kristen Stewart, Martin Starr, Ryan Reynolds, Margaret Levian, Bill Hader, Kristen Wiig, Matt Bush, and Paige Howard. So the plot of Adventureland is that we follow. It takes place in the 80s, like it takes place in the summer of 1987, and so this high school kid named James Brennan, he's been wanting to go to Europe for a really long time now, and he thinks this summer is the year he gets to go to Europe. He gets to like spend all his summer in Europe. It'll be like the finest summer ever. But then he's unable to go to Europe because of his parents, because like his parents got in a drama or something, because like his parents were supposed to help him to go to Europe, but then they lost all their money and all of that, and so yeah, and then that gets James really pissed, and so after that he agrees to just stay there and get a job, and then the job he gets is in Adventureland, and so while he's in Adventureland, we see like his whole life there and like him working there, and then what else is there, and then like him making friends there, and then him getting in a love relationship with this girl named M. So yeah, he starts falling in love with M, and it becomes a romance movie between them two. So yeah, that's basically the whole plot of Adventureland. Now, do I like Adventureland? Yes, I love Adventureland. This movie's really good. It's one of my favorite summer movies, and yeah, I love Adventureland so much. It's really good, and yeah, it's just like really. I really love summer movies a lot because like summer is like the greatest time of the year in my opinion. So yeah, and Adventureland is one of my favorite summer movies, and I love Adventureland so much. So yeah, this movie was just really good, and it was really emotional, and it was such a good romance movie. So yeah, this movie was like more of a romance movie than a summer movie because like it had a lot of romance between James and M. So yeah, let me think. Yeah, this movie was really good. So yeah, excuse me. All the characters in this movie were amazing. I loved all the characters. I love James a lot. You can really buy his character a lot, that he really wanted to go to Europe, but he's stuck in Adventureland now. So yeah, and you can really tell that his character like really improves with hating Adventureland, but then he starts liking it little by little because he starts making new friends there, and he starts falling in love with M. So yeah, and it's just really messed up in the beginning how like his best friend went to Europe without him, and that was kind of messed up. So yeah, and you can really tell that he was really pissed in that scene. So yeah, and then James even had another friend that would always like pick on him, like he would always punch him in the balls like every day whenever they finished their conversation. So yeah, that was really funny. And yeah, and like his friend would always just pick on him a lot and just like bully him, and just yeah, and that's what he called the friend. So yeah, he was just like a violent friend, like you would say. So yeah, let me think. So yeah, that was pretty funny. And then James like starts getting new friends in Adventureland. And he starts learning more about the world and all of that. No, he doesn't start learning more about the world. He just he starts doing a lot more stuff that he never did before and all of that. So yeah, that's what it is. So yeah, let me think. And then when it was him making new friends, he really loves his new friends now. He makes this one new friend named Joel. Yeah, he was really cool too, and like he really gets along with Joel, and I like their friendship a lot. So yeah, and I just love how like he's always working in Adventureland. He's just bored out of his mind working in Adventureland in the beginning, but then slowly he starts appreciating it. He starts kind of appreciating it there, and so yeah, but the only thing he likes about it is just his new friend. So yeah, and he was a really cool character. So yeah, and I really love his love relationship with M. It was really cute. They have a love relationship and all of that, and yeah, yeah, that was really cute. So yeah, just their love relationship really made this whole movie good. So yeah. Let me think. Is there anything else I should say about James? And yeah, and James and his friends start doing drugs too, which was pretty which was really a really big change for James, I would say. So yeah, let me think. Is there anything else? Yeah, I think that's it. And then like just James was really funny too. And I forgot to mention too, this movie's a comedy too. It's mostly more of a comedy than a romance movie. Yeah, and it's really funny too. And James is really funny in this movie. So yeah. And then we get to M. M was a really cool character too. M, she was a really good love interest for James, and like M actually has a really fucked up life. Actually, like she gets a lot of character development. Yeah, she has a really fucked up life. Like she lives with her dad, and her dad has a girlfriend, which is her stepmother, but she hates her stepmother, and her stepmother hates her too. Like the stepmother always picks on M, and like she hates her so much, and so yeah, and like they just hate each other. So yeah, that was really sad. So yeah, and like yeah, M just had like a really horrible life, and like she really misses her actual mother, but then she died of cancer. And yeah, and like her stepmother had a wig and all of that. She was actually bald. So yeah. Let me think. Yeah, she was really a really good character, and like her father's not even accompanying her all that much. He mostly just cares for his girl. So yeah, and so that really gets Em with a really fucked up life. So yeah, and then James is like her only like, and James is the only person that she really loves and like she can really connect to and all of that, and she feels like is making her life grow. So yeah, she was a really cool character, and also she was having an affair too when she was dating James. Like for a lot of for this whole summer, she's been having an affair with one of the workers in Adventureland named Mike. Yeah, Mike was like a lot older than her actually. He looked a lot older than her actually, but and he was. They were always sleeping with each other and all of that in the basement and all of that. So yeah, and that was a really sad thing for her to do, and just like how fucked up her life is that she has to have an affair too, and she continues to do that when she's dating James, which is like holy shit, why the fuck are you still doing this? So yeah, she was just a really messed up character. So yeah, she was a really good character, and you really felt for Em a lot. So yeah, let me think. Is there anything else? And then we get yeah, just Em was a really good character, and like I just love all the scenes with her and James. She just really connects with him. So yeah, she was she was kind of like the one with the most character development in this movie. So yeah, and then by the end of the movie, you see her in another place too, which I'll get to that later on. So yeah, let me think. And then there's Joel. Joel is another one of the workers in Adventureland that James is friends with, and Joel is he's kind of like he's kind of he's really nerdy, and like he's really nerdy, and what else is there? Yeah, he's really nerdy and really geeky. So yeah, and he's just yeah, that's his whole character, and like he's always like with this girl named what was her name? Sue. He was like getting at this girl named Sue. I think he was dating her at one point too, but then like Sue broke up with him because like she realized that he was so weird and all of that. So yeah, and then right there he got really sad. So yeah, that was a really sad moment for Joel, and yeah, just Joel and James's friends relationship was just really cool. So yeah. Let me think. Yeah, Joel was a really entertaining character too. He was really funny at times too. So yeah, and then we get to Mike. Mike was the I think he was the one that Em was having an affair with. He was a really good character too. Like he. You can tell that like he doesn't really they both Em and Mike don't really like the affairs they're having a lot. Like they don't even love each other at all. They're just doing it so they can release their pain and all of that. So yeah, that was a really cool thing that Mike does too. And Mike was really cool too. Like he was a really chill person at the Adventureland. Like I love like how he's always getting along with James and all of that. And he's always so chill with him and all of that. And he was really funny too. So yeah, Mike was a really chill and really cool character. And like he was one of the coolest people in Adventureland, I think. So yeah, Mike was a really cool character too. So yeah. Let me think. Is there anything else about Mike I should say? Yeah, Mike. He has a bit of character. He has a bit of a character development that he already has a wife. Even he has a wife, but and he's still having an affair. Like even though he has a wife too. So yeah. Let me think. Is there anything else I should say? Yeah, just Mike was really chill, and like James and Mike were sort of friends in Adventureland, and that was really cool too. So yeah. And then there is Lisa P. Lisa P is like this hot girl. She's like this smoking hot girl that works at Adventureland. She works at like in the ride where like she's like dancing and all of that to music. So yeah. and like Lisa P was a cool character too, and like Lisa P was even James was having a sort of an affair too with Lisa P. So yeah, so like Lisa P was another girl that James really liked too, just because of her looks. So yeah, and then let me think. What else is there? And yeah, and then James, yeah, James like really like starts liking Lisa P now, and yeah, Lisa P was a good character, and like Lisa P like seems to love James too. She seems to really like James too. So yeah, and then like she basically becomes like in the way of like James loving M. So yeah, and then like I just love all the scenes with her and James. Like those scenes are really entertaining, and whenever there's another boy getting at Lisa Peach, is like, okay, a getaway, and then she goes to talk to James. So yeah, I love those scenes a lot. So yeah, and then they even go on a date at one point too, and then once he takes her home, like he James actually kisses her, and then they have like a little make out in the car, but then she leaves. So yeah, but then so he was having sort of an affair in that scene, but yeah, but what I love about it too is that later on he actually does tell M that that he went on a date with Lisa P and he kissed her and all of that, and then she's like, and then M doesn't really seem like all mad about it. She just seems chill about it. She's just like, oh well, okay, that was just really cool that you told me and all of that. So yeah, that was really cool too. So yeah, Lisa P was really good, and like towards the end she became something that James hated. So, and I'll get to that later on. So yeah. Let me think. Is there anything else I should say? And then there's Bobby. Bobby is the manager. He's like the boss of Adventureland, and he's really funny too. So yeah, he's the boss of Adventureland. He's really funny in this movie. You can never go wrong with Bill Hader. Bill Hader is always funny in this movie. So yeah, Bill Hader plays Bobby, and he's really funny. So yeah, he's mostly just there for comic relief, and it works. So yeah, let me think. And then there is his wife, which his wife is basically the same thing, just there for comic relief. So yeah. And then there's Tommy, which I already talked about. Tommy, he would always pick on. He's been friends with James, but he's always like picking on him. He's like always like yeah. He was a pretty good character too. So yeah. Yeah, he was really, really funny too. So yeah, like he's even like in the window when he's like stalking them in the window when he's on a date with Lisa P. So yeah, that was really funny. So yeah, and then I think that's all the characters in this movie. And then there's Sue, the Joel's girl. But then later on they break up. So yeah, she was a pretty good character too. She didn't have much to do besides that she was Joel's girlfriend, and like she broke up with him, and she didn't really have much to do, but she was still an okay character. So yeah, all the characters were really good in this movie. So yeah, and the scenery to this movie was amazing. I loved the scenery so much. This movie takes place this movie takes place in the 80s, and the 80s in my opinion, the 80s setting wasn't really all necessary, but it was still really cool though. It was still a really cool setting though, and the summer setting was amazing in this movie. And I love how most of it takes place in Adventureland. It is amazing. So yeah, just the scenery was perfect actually. So yeah, the 80s. They could have probably picked a better timeline, but it was still okay. So yeah, let me think. What else is there? And then there's the actors. Yeah, all the actors do such an amazing job. Like Jess Eisenberg as James was amazing. Kristen Stewart as M was amazing. So yeah. Let me think. Yeah, Martin Starr, Ryan Reynolds, they were all amazing. So yeah. Even Margaret Levian as Lisa P was amazing. So yeah. Let me think. What else is there? The soundtrack to this movie. This movie did not have such a big soundtrack. Like, it didn't have like a score in the background. It mostly just used world music, and it all worked. Like, all the world music was really cool in this movie. It was really nice. Just the soundtrack was just really cool. So yeah, and it was perfect for this movie. So yeah. Let me think. This movie, like all the comic relief in this movie, definitely works. So yeah. Let me think. What else is there? The pacing to this movie is really good. This movie is an hour and 40 minutes, but my one complaint with it is that you actually do feel its runtime of an hour and 40 minutes, but it's still pretty good. Like the pacing, it's still paced really good actually. So yeah. Let me think. Greg Matola definitely had a heart with making this movie. So yeah, I've seen a lot of other movies from Greg Matola too, but like I can't remember what they're called. Or I've seen more. I know that I've seen a lot of movies from Greg Matola already. So yeah, let's think. Let me think. What else is there? I don't think I have much of flaws with this movie at all. Besides the whole affair things. With the whole affair thing was kind of like I mean I can get actually no, I don't have a flaw with the whole affair thing. That just really shows you how like cruel and fucked up M is. So yeah, I don't have a problem with the affair scene. So yeah, and what makes it better is that like when James has an affair, he at least tells M, but M does not tell James at all. So yeah, that was really cool. Let me think. Is there anything else I should say? Let's talk about. Let me think. Well, what else is there? Let's talk about like the ending of the movie with like. Wait, I don't think I won't. I'll try really hard to get away from spoilers, but in the end of it all, wait, never mind. Sorry, I can't talk about this movie without spoilers. So if you haven't seen this movie, please leave the review. And I keep forgetting to say spoiler at the beginning. So yeah, and then like in the end of it, like in the end, like James ends up finding out that M was having an affair this whole time, and that really gets him pissed. And then like yeah, cause like one of Joel's friends like. Or I think it was Joel or Tommy. It was Tommy. One of Tommy's friends. He was like a retard dude. He was like, I saw M and Mike doing push-ups in the car. Yeah, and then they were doing push-ups on each other. So yeah, that was really funny. So yeah, let me think. What else is there? So yeah, that gets James knowing that she was having an affair. So that gets him mad a lot. So yeah, and then after that, like James like ends up telling Lisa P like about all that, and then she was like, Lisa, don't tell anyone. And then Lisa actually does like she tells her friend like her best friend, and then she tells everyone else. Like she tells everyone else in Adventureland, and that's what really gets James to hate on Lisa. So yeah, and that's what really makes Lisa such a changed character. So yeah, so like James like seriously has no feelings for Lisa at all. So yeah, and that was really cool. So yeah. And then to have that happen to M, for like everyone to know what M did, makes her life even fucked up even more. So yeah, and you just really feel for M so much. So yeah, and I love that scene where there's another where like when she gets home from all that, she's serving herself like alcohol, and then like her parents get mad, and then like her stepmother starts yelling at her, and then she like yanks out her wig. Yeah, and then like the father was like, why the fuck are you acting like this? And she's like, it's like I can't say or do what I can't say or do what I'm feeling every fucking day. So yeah, and that was a really good line for her to give, and that line was definitely all her character. So yeah, let me think. Is there anything else I should say? Yeah, this movie was just really funny. So yeah, the way this movie ends with James leaving Adventureland with the summer ending, and he goes to New York to NYU, and then M is there too, and he meets up with her, and then like it's raining, and then he's like changing with his clothes, but then in that scene he ends up falling in love with her. I forgot what makes them fall in love, but like they end up falling in love again, and then they end up sleeping with each other in that scene, and then it ends right there. So yeah, that was a really good ending. So yeah, let me think. Is there anything else about Adventureland I should say? Is there anything else I should say about Adventureland? Let me think. Yeah, it was just really good. It's very entertaining too. Like it's really enjoyable. So yeah. Is there anything else I should say? Hmm. Is there anything else I should say? It was just really good, and yeah. Just to rate this movie, I'll rate it an A+. Yeah, it's really good, and it's one of my favorite summer movies. So yeah. Bye, and see you all in the next review.